back to the show.
11:10. Good morning. Olivia King is a broadcaster, content creator, and former goalie for the Golden Gophers and the Tommies. At Olivia Kristen King is where you can learn more about her via Instagram, Olivia Kristen King, and also via X at Youth Hockey Hub, at Youth Hockey Hub. And we welcome Olivia back into the equation. How are you?
I'm good.
Microphone, please. How are you?
I'm good.
Thank you. Good to see you.
Yes, you too.
Let's start with the Chicago Blackhawks. Everybody, at least late last week, maybe it's still the occasion, the Blackhawks had an illness roll through their locker room where, people were dropping left and right. It became so bad, last Friday, they literally made their backup goalie for a game against the Capitals, a guy named Dave Nozzolillo. You know how to say that last name?
I think that's how you say it.
Nozzolillo?
Yep.
Nozzolillo, who, by the way, most recently, including like that week, was playing in a Chicago men's league run by a place called Johnny's Ice House. This is unbelievable, this E-Bug, this emergency backup goalie, and the fact that he got to suit up at United Center. What more do you know about that? And good morning.
Oh my gosh. I think these stories are the funniest, and this is why I wanted to talk about it. So emergency backup goalies they have to be amateurs, which most people don't know.
Right.
Which I think is so funny because you're thinking about, like the Twin Cities, and if both the Wild goalies were sick, like the Blackhawks had, you'd be like, oh, why don't they just grab Luka from the Gophers or, somebody over there, but they can't.
Right.
Because of the cap. So they have to use amateur players, which most often are beer league guys.
Wow.
So that's what the Chicago Blackhawks had to do. And whenever this happens, it kind of just like blows up because it's so funny and foreign. And you're like, this guy never, he never played at a super high level and now he gets to play in the NHL, possibly.
Right.
So that's exactly what happened. And
well, no, he got to be in the NHL. Granted, he didn't play, but I don't even know who, because the Blackhawks were down two sick goaltenders who couldn't be around the team. So therefore, they had one they could elevate. They needed, and do you call it E-Bug or just emergency backup goalie?
E-Bug.
I love E-Bug. Mm-hmm. I wasn't familiar with that term until you and I were texting the other day. But
so the guy in net that game against the Caps was a Drew Comesso.
Jeez.
Yeah, so he was the
minor league guy, right?
Yeah, the AHL guy. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, but they needed an emergency backup goalie, and they got this cat from something called Johnny's Ice House in Chicago playing in a men's league. He didn't have to play, but if he had to play, oh, by the way, it's the Capitals, and oh, by the way, that's Alexander Ovechkin right there. This is just crazy.
Absolutely crazy. And it's so funny because people always have so many questions about E-Bugs. Like, do they get paid? Where do they come from?
Yeah.
How do they find their way onto the team? How do I become one?
Right.
And it was so fun because this week on my podcast, Talk Goalie to Me, I had the Wild E-Bug, Connor Beaupre.
Right.
And so we talked, all things E-Bug, and he practices.
Beaupre has been their emergency backup goalie. So we do a show called Vox in the Box. Okay. Vox is a nickname somebody with the Vikings gave me a decade and a half ago, means voice of the people. Penalty Box, XL Energy Center, now Grand Casino Arena. We'll bring the show to the big arena, and we used to do it from the penalty box during the Wild skate and the opponent skate. It was really, really fun. Now they're a trio. So we have one of those tomorrow. It's called Vox in the Box. And I remember all the way back to XL Energy Center, now Grand Casino Arena, but Tria now too. But Beaupre, he's still part of the mix, right?
Oh, yeah. And he practices with them multiple times a week. So he knows the guys, and he had so many funny stories to share. He's been there for years. He's been doing it for years and years, and his dad played in the NHL. He played for the North Stars.
Was it Don Beaupre?
Yep.
Wow.
He played 17 seasons in the NHL. And so he talked to me about how he kind of found his way into being an E-Bug.
Yeah.
Which was through, when the Wild played the outdoor game, a long time ago. And so it just kind of happened through that. And then they were like, hey, like, could you come out and be our e-bug? We had our normal guys sick. And he was like, sure.
Right.
So just a funny story, super cool and funny little quirky thing about the NHL that sometimes happens.
Okay, and clearly a general manager or personnel department has an e-bug list. So if Bus and the Wall of St. Paul, if they're both not available and this sucker hits us within 24 hours, okay, they got Beaupre. But I mean, teams would have lists of a couple of Olivia Kings, a couple of Nazalillo, whatever the guy's name is, Beaupre's, so that they, in a pinch, honestly, this person could be playing at Braemar the night before in a rough and tumble men's league and then potentially facing Ovechkin the next night.
Absolutely. I might as well just go to the Wild in full gear and just sit in the stands for the chance.
Oh, for sure. The podcast Talk Goalie to me, best place to find it would be at Youth Hockey Hub via X or what?
Yeah, that you can find it there. You can find it on any outlet, YouTube, Spotify, anything like that. So
Talk Goalie to me, Olivia King.
Nazalillo's he's a banker.
Is he really?
Yeah, he's a vice president at Wintrust Commercial Banking, Orland Park, Illinois area.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, just a banker.
Wow, so he can handle his own contract if he needs one.
Well, he didn't. Apparently, if he would have played, he was not going to get paid, but the article notes he would have gotten to take the jersey home with him.
Wasn't going to get paid.
I don't know.
Wait a second.
They don't get paid.
If you work a job,
It's the love of the game,
and don't get paid, well, there have to be laws against that, right? Unless you sign something and agree to it.
Well, it's crazy because, like, that's the whole part of it. Like, why it has to be an amateur is because they don't want to mess with their cap.
Well, yeah, you're right. Yeah.
And so they can't get paid. So even, like, Connor Beaupre, he goes to a bunch of the Wild practices every week, and he's like, it's just out of the goodness of his heart.
Yeah, right.
If you tell
Love
a
of the
cat,
game.
Yeah, if you tell a cat, all right, here's the deal. You're playing, usually you'd have a beer on the bench with you while you played. I'm going to let you play in an arena with 20,000 people, but it's going to be for free.
Right.
I mean, I would jump at that.
Well, they're in, for sure.
Amazing.
Okay, Olivia. The Wild, they've lost 2 in a row since returning from that 2-week road trip. What are you seeing there? They lose to the Islanders in a close one. Quite honestly, they got smacked by New Jersey the other night in that big Hughes game. They were down like 4-1. I think it was 5-2 final. But with the Wild, they got Winnipeg tomorrow night. Vox in the Box Day for 9 to noon tomorrow. What are you seeing with the Wild?
I think, even in that Jersey game, Voss said he played super well. He shut down, a Hughes breakaway. It was a close game for 2 periods. The Wild, I think they had a lot of chances, and I think that's something to be positive about. They, missed the net. They, had quite a few shut down and they couldn't get some through, but they were getting opportunities, and that's something that is super positive. And, we beat the Jets last time in overtime, and the Jets are, they're coming off 3 straight wins, one against the Islanders, who we outplayed but lost in overtime. So
I was out of the state this weekend. I missed the Islanders game. So you say they outplayed the Islanders, but they got a point, right? It went to overtime, right?
Yeah, it went to overtime.
All right. So, what do you mean they outplayed them? In what way?
I think the Wild just outplayed them in that game, and when we come out against the Jets, I think it'll be a really close matchup. Our stats are very similar. Mm-hmm. And, if we can play like we played the first 2 periods of, the New Jersey Devil game, instead of, missing that, maybe putting a few more chances in the back of the net and things like that, I think we'll be totally fine. It just got away from us in the third and on Monday. So
of all the core 4 of sports, all right, the pro sports, college too, but pro sports, hockey, football, basketball, and baseball. You never hear that's football or that's baseball or that's basketball, but you always hear that's hockey, and it involves pucks off skates, pucks off posts, pucks off hands or body parts, and the way things bounce off stanchions and things like that. It's such a quirky yet beautiful sport that way. in that you can outplay somebody for 58 to 60 minutes, but it's a tightly contested game. Then a puck takes a weird bounce, goaltender goes to get it, and then it accidentally goes off a skate, and you just lost the game. That's hockey, right?
Exactly. And that's what happened, I think, on Monday in the third. The Devils, they score 3 in under 5 minutes, and that's hockey. That's the way she goes sometimes.
Right. Do you get to many high school hockey games?
I do.
Really?
Actually, this Friday, I'm super excited. I'm going up to Bemidji to do sideline and post game for two varsity girls hockey games, and then do color for the Gopher women's game after that. So it'll be
Where do we
a
watch
big day.
that? Watch or listen to that? How do we do that?
Those games, both of those first varsity games will be streamed on Youth Hockey Hub. They do a few broadcasts every year called Friday Night Ice.
Yeah.
And it's really fun, I think, especially for high schoolers. You know, they get to experience
it's massive.
A little bit like at the big leagues and the real production and show. So that's where that'll be. And then the color will be on Gopher Radio.
Okay, are you doing play-by-play or are you the analyst?
I'm
or are you both?
I'm not doing play-by-play.
Yeah.
So the Gopher women, they have a play-by-play who does every game. His name is Dan.
Yeah.
And so I'll just be doing color with him.
Okay, that's sweet. Olivia King at Youth Hockey Hub via Twitter to learn more. Instagram Covenant. Olivia Kristen King. She's a broadcaster, content creator, and a new friend of the 9 to Noon radio show. I ask you about the high school hockey games because Tony from Youth Hockey Hub eventually will join this radio show in front of the mostly the boys high school hockey tournament. But things are starting to heat up for the men and the women at this stage of the equation, right? When we get to middle January, how close are we to that tournament?
Oh, we're super close, especially for the women, because the girls, they're 2 weeks ahead of the guys. So they have their tournament 2 weeks before, and it is a super exciting time. And for girls hockey, Holy Family is absolutely tearing it up this year. They have Sword out their goaltender. She's committed to Wisconsin.
Wow.
And she's absolutely lights out for them.
Really?
So it's really exciting, and Centennial's a really good team as well.
Randy's had good goalies there for a while.
I know. They always have really good goalies, and they're fun to watch, and so I'm really looking forward to the girls. And then with Holy Family, quickly, because my daughter went there, and their coach, Randy Keppel, is one of my best neighborhood friends. And I don't know, Stefan Veilleux, former member of the Wild, he was an assistant coach, I think, for Randy for a while. I don't know if he's still on the bench. Oh, really?
Yeah, Stefan
That's
Veilleux.
super cool.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
I'm pretty sure it was the girls, not the boys. But Holy Family, it's when it comes to these rankings, I can look at Youth Hockey Hub. There are about 4 places that I looked at this morning, and it corroborated with as the girls go, the Holy Family Fire, number 1 in 2A, right?
Yeah.
And they beat Minnetonka like it's some holiday tournament. Minnetonka's always good.
Yeah, in their Christmas tournament. So, yeah, they really showed up, and then Centennial did in that Christmas tournament as well. So I think that kind of elevated their game and elevated them in the rankings. And so we'll see how that goes for, during the state tournament. I'm really excited. I played in a few state tournaments in high school, and they really are the best time of year.
Really?
There's no better hockey to watch, boys or girls.
Yeah.
How busy the boys tournament gets, and how special that is for high school kids. And that's a huge reason why I love to watch high school hockey. I tell everybody, whenever I'm watching. Yesterday I was at the Blake girls high school game, just watching those games, and I was just like, gosh, I love
that's excellent
high school hockey because of the errors. When you watch high level hockey, it's almost too perfect sometimes.
Yeah.
And watching high school hockey, you're like, wow, there's just so much more going on because, everybody's at a different place and a different skill level. And it's super cool to see that.
Yeah. And postseason period is great to see in all sports. And I have some friends, Jim and Mary Bullock, and their daughter, Carly Bullock, went to Princeton. Okay, so they're CNCAA tournament or a qualifier something within the last 5 years. They came to play the Gophers, Brad Frost Gophers. Shoot, you might have been on that team. And it was Where did the Gophers? Ritter? Yeah, I think the game was there. And I think Princeton won the game. It was a tightly contested game. But, sure, there weren't as many people there as you'll get at Grand Casino Arena. It still was postseason intense and just it had a feel to it. I'm not necessarily pulling for Carly's team or Brad's team. I was there to see a good game. And that's what it was. And that's what the high school hockey tournaments are.
Yeah, it's just a different feeling, and the pressure is really fun. It's really exciting to see kids of that age be really excited and moving towards one goal.
Big time.
So I'm excited for postseason, and it's coming up really, really quick in February. So.
What do you like about working with the Youth Hockey Hub?
I love, having the opportunity to practice, all my broadcasting stuff and be around, when we do the Friday night ice or when we go out to games and we have tournaments or things like that. I love giving the kids, like a chance to have interviews and talking with them because they are so fun.
Yeah.
And for them, I feel like it's really fun too because
big time.
It feels like more big time, more real. And, those are kids that you never know if they want to play college hockey. They might want to do something else, might want to play another sport or not play sports in college or something. So it might be their only chance to do something like that and have the interviews or, be on the broadcast. And so I really do love that. And it's just something as a kid, I remember, getting the chance to do at the state tournament, post-game interviews and things like that. And I still think about those and how cool and how fun that was.
Frosty's team, that Abby Murphy assist blew up the internet. So explain what she did and just how hard it is to accomplish that.
Okay, that is something she absolutely, the only way to describe it is that she dribbled it through her feet for an assist to Bella Finale and a goal, obviously. But that's something that I've never seen. I think it's only happened in like boys college hockey, maybe like once or twice.
Yeah.
And it's absolutely the craziest assist ever. And the Gophers are, having a great second half. We're just starting second half here, and they just had 4 players named to, different national team Olympic rosters. Murphy, no surprise that Murphy's on that USA roster, especially after seeing that. And so, wow. I think if you have not seen that assist, you've got to go watch it because even if you're not a hockey person, it's very impressive. I mean, she picks it up, bats it out of the air, dribbles it through the defenseman's feet
Unbelievable.
For an assist. It was
beautiful.
Absolutely crazy. And it shows why, she's one of the best in the world.
Yeah.
And if you haven't, been out to a Gopher women's game, I think, this would be a good chance to go and watch just because, wow, like super, super cool. And they go out and play in Bemidji this weekend, just like I said, I'll be there. So I'm excited for those. But crazy assist.
Well, do a good job this weekend, and I know you put a lot of work into it, and we'll talk soon. Stay in touch, and look forward to chatting with you maybe even next week.
Sounds good. Thanks, Paul.
Yep. Olivia King, Youth Hockey Hub. When we return, we go to college sports of a different variety, college football, and a national champion left tackle. Bryan McKinnie joins 9 to noon next.
The Fan wants to give you a chance at some bonus bucks with the National Cash Contest. Use the keyword money at KFAN.com. You might win some money with the keyword money at KFAN.com. Before we get to our next guest, with College National Football Playoff Championship around the corner, we're calling all Wolves fans. You can join us for a Michelob Ultra watch party January 20th at Wild Bill's in Apple Valley. You can hang out with our own Max Fuller from 7 to 9 p.m., play trivia, win prizes, and enjoy drink specials. Full details, just go to KFAN.com, keyword calendar.
come. We have a very special guest joining us now, 9 to noon. Bryan McKinnie, former Vikings left tackle, also a Super Bowl winner with the Ravens, a college football HOF. He's a college football Hall of Famer and a member of a national championship college football team with the Miami Hurricanes. At Bryan McKinnie via X, if you would like to learn more about Big Mac. And he joins us now. What's going on, my man? How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm pretty excited because it's been like 23 years since we've been in this position. So I feel like the city's excited. I'm excited to see the school get back in this position.
All right. Well, first and foremost, how did the watch party go for the Ole Miss game at a place called The Licking on 27th in Miami?
It went pretty good. So The Licking is basically a restaurant owned by a guy named E-Class and DJ Khaled. In Miami Gardens, which is right by the stadium. So they have like, a bar. It's like a restaurant, kind of like lounge. So and they renovated it so it's more space and everything too. So it was a good turnout, and then even better turnout because we got the win.
Well, Big B-Mac, your Canes get to play for the national championship Monday night, and the game is at Hard Rock in Miami. That's in Miami Gardens. That's a tough ticket to find, right? Pretty expensive.
And then you would think it was the Super Bowl the way these prices are going. But I guess people are happy to see Miami back in the national championship. I mean, there's a storyline behind it. The quarterback went to Christopher Columbus, our head coach. Mario Cristobal and the O-line coach went to Christopher Columbus as well. So it's like a kind of Miami tale, but good storyline. I'm looking for it to be a competitive game, and I'm also looking for the Canes to come out on top.
Well, all right. Hoosiers quarterback Fernando Mendoza, indeed, like Bryan said, is a Miami native. And I'm not sure how the crowd's going to work out here at Hard Rock. It technically is a home game for your Canes, but IU's going to represent with that red. Do you think the fans are going to boo Mendoza Monday night and treat him like a traitor?
I don't know if they'll boo him. I'm not sure how they would accept him. I'm not sure if they would boo him. From what I understand, I think he did want to come to Miami, but I don't know if Miami went after him or not. So I'm not sure if they'll boo him. I think they may show love, but during the course of the game, they're not. You know what I mean? But they may, kind of show a little love. I'm not sure. We'll have to see.
All right. Well, how in the heck are your Canes going to beat this Indiana juggernaut? I mean, like, what are some keys here to beating Indiana for Miami?
Miami's defense had to step up and make plays. I seen like in the last game, it was a few interceptions dropped that could have been, caused turnovers. So they have to make sure they capitalize on those. And when you get turnovers, come away with points, and just don't get a turnover and then, and the offense doesn't get at least a field goal. Just slow down the big plays, and then on offense, keep running the ball to take a lot of time off the clock to limit their access to getting on the field. So, that's some of the game plan. And be good on special teams. So all three phases need to kind of be on point. And then you're at home. I've seen things in the news recently. A lot of people didn't know. Like a few of the guys last game had the flu, so hopefully they're over it now and they're back to health and have a lot more energy and everything. And I just feel like everybody's giving a lot of extra effort. I've been watching the whole playoffs, and these guys have been really playing and giving extra effort, so they got to continue that trend.
All right. Well, Canes coach Mario Cristobal. What do you? He just he seems like a tough guy. What do you like about him?
Well, Mario Cristobal actually was my assistant O-line coach when I was at University of Miami, so he also helped me, become the player I was in college because he gave me extra time, like with film study. He would sit down with me, so I know he is a pretty hard-nosed, and everything about him is work ethic and giving extra effort and things like that. So, that's kind of what he's installed in these guys. And I always told people when he first got there, like, people thought, like, right away it should change. I said, no, you got to give him at least 3 years where majority of his people that he recruited are there. And by year 4, and here we are, year 4 in the national championship game. And I've said this in a lot of interviews in the past, and it's kind of came true.
Bryan McKinnie, former Vikings offensive lineman, also College Football Hall of Famer. He won a national championship with the Miami Hurricanes. 2001, they beat Nebraska in the Rose Bowl. And a lot of players would come to the University of Miami after you left because of you, Ed Reed, and some of these other names that were there. But like when you got there in the late 90s, what led you to Miami? Like who were some of the players that you're like, wow, I just have to be at this place?
So at that time, Jerome Brown, I was from South Jersey, so for the Eagles, Jerome Brown was defensive tackle. I was a fan of his. So like him, and then you realize like, oh, Ray Lewis, Warren Sapp. I didn't realize everybody went to University of Miami. Michael Irvin, Ray Lewis, Warren Sapp, and all these names. I'm like, wow, all of them are there. And so it was like, oh, okay. Then they talked about the graduation rate and things like that. And then Miami, the year I got there was the first year they were coming on probation. They were on probation for like 5 years. So my class was the first class where they had full scholarships back too. So like, okay, be a part of rebuilding the program, and that's kind of what we did.
Well, with the current team, Bryan, this 18-year-old receiver returner Malachi Toney. I mean, I don't get a chance to watch a lot of college football during the NFL season. So, like, I followed him now for a month and change. Malachi Toney, man, he's 18 years old. He's fantastic. What do you like about him?
He is just a playmaker. He's young. I feel like he left school early. From what I understand, they say he was able to leave school early. So he's a young guy. He's going out here as a true freshman and is making big plays. And this is only the beginning for him. So he's definitely a threat. So you have the game plan against this young kid. And he's just phenomenal to watch. He's very exciting. So I enjoy watching him.
Well, speaking of returners and the University of Miami, Devin Hester. I mean, I'm not going to ask you to put, a Malachi Toney, Devin Hester related comparison, but the Canes, man, they just like with certain players. Devin Hester, I mean, he was a receiver. He played some corner. He was a returner. It's this Malachi Toney. It's just at the beginning for him. Man, he had a one-handed catch against Ole Miss that was unbelievable. But those returning skills are just natural,
I don't know how we have a knack of finding these type of gems, but yeah, Malachi Toney is on the path to becoming very similar to Devin Hester.
Hey, I have Bryan McKinnie's our guest. I have a suggestion for a route Miami can win Monday night against Indiana. Tell me what you think about it. And it's a little cliche here, but I think it's really important in this game, Bryan, is winning the time of possession Monday night. I think, man, that would just help things so much. Keep Mendoza and that offense off the field. Miami's defense is really good in the first place, as you stated, but winning the time of possession, playing a game of keep away. What do you think?
Absolutely. That's kind of what I was saying at the beginning when I was saying as long as the offense keeps running the ball, because I feel like they were doing a great job running the ball throughout the playoffs, especially the last game. So keep being able to run the ball and get, 4 or 5 yards, and you take a lot of time off the clock, and that just prevents them from being able to get on the field. And that's why I said also make sure they capitalize on the opportunity they have to have turnovers and come away with points still, too. So it's like this game right here, try to go in there to try to be as mistake-free as possible. Don't give up any extra yardage with penalties or anything like that, and just go out here and just play fast, know your assignment, and give great effort.
Couple of quickies to close here for Big Mac champion. He's a college football Hall of Famer, Super Bowl winner with the Ravens. And
don't forget, I also have a Believe in Vikings podcast that I do with Wobshaw.
Oh, with Wobby, that's right. And you can find that. You can find that online. I've watched a few of those too. Seems like you're enjoying yourself with that, right?
I am. That helps me keep track of what's going on in the Viking Nation.
Right on. Yep, Wobby, don't leave home without him. But for those of you who don't know, it was 23 years ago that the Canes won the national championship. Bryant was a senior, starting left tackle. Beat Nebraska for the title. How about this? That team produced 38 NFL draft picks. I mean, I know you played on the team, man. You've probably been asked this a million times, but that has to be considered the greatest college football team of all time, right?
That's what a lot of people say. They'll try to put up like Joe Burrow's 2019 LSU, or they'll throw in like a USC or something like that. But then when people kind of go down the roster and they're like, I just don't know how those guys were held up against, all of us. Because it was a lot of us.
Well, it's okay. Burrow's team, we got Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase. Terrace Marshall Jr. actually was like one of the highest touted wide receivers out of high school. He was supposed to be the best of the three. Between those three, maybe Jamar was considered higher. Yeah, they got all them and everything. Edwards-Helaire is the running back. You got I get it, okay? But How about
but
this?
Then you have like people defending them like Sean Taylor, Antrell Roll, Ed Reed. Like, there's a lot of talent back there. Philip Buchanan. They would have a really good matchup against. It would be a really tough matchup with those guys.
No, I'm going to take it a step farther. It's when I was researching this morning, Big Mac. I couldn't believe, I had to corroborate it and look at another site to make sure it was accurate. For the 2001 Miami Hurricanes, their tailbacks were Clinton Portis, Willis McGahee, and Frank Gore, and the fullback was Najee Davenport, who ended up being a starting tailback in the NFL with Pittsburgh.
And Willis McGahee was behind Najee. They moved Willis to fullback, too, because there was so many running backs.
Are you kidding me? So, like, Larry
so for the one season, Willis was a fullback.
Larry Coker was the coach, right?
Of my senior year, yes. Butch Davis was the year before, and he left, and Larry Coker took over. When
you have Clinton Portis, Willis McGahee, Frank Gore, and Najee Davenport, how do you find time for all those guys?
They were making time. There was definitely a rotation. So I know our mindset was to kind of have a 21-point lead and then going into the fourth quarter to give the backups a chance to have, opportunity for experience.
Yeah.
So if you look at all of our games, we won by 21 or better, except for 2. So basically every game, all the games except 2, all the guys got a chance to get in and play. So your backups were like Roscoe Parrish, to Andre Johnson. Like you had different guys Kellen Winslow to Jeremy Shockey. You had a lot of good players who were backups who got opportunities to play because we were, trying to make sure we had a big lead so they can get an opportunity to get some reps.
Man, yeah, that must be sweet being a defensive coordinator playing that team. All right, one series we get Clinton Portis. The next series we get Willis McGahee. Then we get Frank Gore, and it's Willis McGahee blocking for Frank Gore. That's one of the most unbelievable things I've ever seen. Last one here. Your former coach, John Harbaugh, was let go by the Ravens. What was it like playing for John Harbaugh?
I had 2 experiences because I feel like when I first got there, it was more like Ray Lewis's team a little bit. So it was kind of like they were like kind of co-coaches almost.
Yeah, right.
I feel like he kind of went to Ray a lot of times just asking how he felt about things. But it was a good experience, and I feel like the second year was kind of more of Harbaugh on his own because now Ray's retired, Ed Reed was gone. So it became a little different. And even when I talked to him later on when we came back for like an anniversary for a Super Bowl, I asked him how did he transition because, yelling at us motivated us to go, but yelling at these guys now will kind of get them to shut down. He was just like, about 2017, I realized I had to change my style of coaching now because it's a different generation of guys, so you can't have the same coaching experience. So
that's very fairly stated.
18 years is a long time, so I feel like he had a great career. I'm pretty sure he'll get picked up by someone else.
Hey, man, good luck with your Canes on Monday night. We'll chat soon, okay?
Oh, thanks for having me.
Yep, see you about Bryan McKinnie, former Miami Hurricane and Minnesota Viking. Back after the
fan.
Like Tennessee said, thank you for listening to KFAN, if and or when you do, including tomorrow. Well, you get the program around the corner. Can't miss radio. But 9 to noon, can't wait to chat with you tomorrow for the first time this season from Tria in St. Paul, the practice home for your Minnesota Wild. We have a Box in the Box tomorrow, beginning with John Hines, coach of the Minnesota Wild, at 9 o'clock. Box in the Box tomorrow when we rise and shine at 9. Nordo produces, and I'm Paul Allen. Time to put a wrap on the show with Big Daddy Khan in area.
Big boy's back.
The game is over.
Covenant Catchup. Bryan McKinnie, connected to Minnesota, never considered many. When he tried, he was great, some criticism is valid, and now he's doing watch parties with DJ Khaled. Last night, Wolves roll, they're in the zone, and Randall terrific. How about 5 triples from Bones? No Ant with the foot, but the team still mashed. If you're worried about the spread, well, the team still cash. It's a Daily Talker now. What's next for Beef Flow? Thinking Raiders and Steelers and Raiders jobs, though. I'm sure we'll revisit again on Friday's show, just really how little connection that we know. So tomorrow, a bit of a slight deviation. It's time for a Vox in the Box presentation. KG Hines, Billy G, Russo, and Moose, and either Captain or Cartsy bringing up the caboose.
That's what this team is all about, defense and breaking hard.
Podcast today's Paul Allen Show, or listen back to previous show and interviews by going to the iHeartRadio app or KFAN.com.